Hey there, folks! Sorry for the delay. Welcome back to the Gamer's Grotto. Tonight we're going to be playing the Riven remake that released a couple of days ago for the PS5. Now this game is already out for PC and VR, but a bit of a delay for PS5. I think they redid some of the graphics and stuff like that for the PS5 version. Not quite sure, but I do know that this game is a lot different than the game I grew up with. They added a bunch of new content, new puzzles, new areas, new locations. Now, a lot of it stays the same, but there's a little bit of it that's a little bit different. So we're going to hop right into this right now. Let's play Riven Remake on the PS5.
Thank God you've returned. I need your help. There's a great deal of history that you should know, but I'm afraid there's no time to explain. Most of what you'll need to know is in here. For reasons you will discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this. It appears to be a linking book back here to Dunny, but it's actually a one-person prison. It's the only way to capture Gehn. Here. Once you've freed Catherine, I'll come with a linking book. She'll know how to signal me. There's a very good chance, if all this goes well, that you'll be returned to the place that you came from. Until we meet again. Take care, my friend.
So right off the bat, because this is free roam now and not like, just point and click like the original game was, we're able to like briefly look around Gehn's whatever the hell this is. I don't even want to say it's an office, but there's not anything to interact with here, not that I found. So we just click on the book, and I like the fact that they kept the original cursor from the original Riven. That's a nice nostalgic thing. But yeah, let's get into the game.
어? Caligari. Cavare. 누가 왜 보면? 다게마. 레코와. 다게마. 수 레코와. Isirap. Isirap. Mutika bukuan ay. Isirap. Mutika bukuan ay. Bukuan ay. Isirap. Bukuan ay. Bukuan. Bukuan ay.
All right, so here we go. Now, you'll notice quite a few things different here already. There's a lot, because it's free roam now, they kind of fleshed out the world a little bit more and added a bunch of different things. The original Riven would probably not work. With the sense that it's the original Riven, it was point and click, so that they could only show you what they wanted you to see. It wasn't free roam like this, so I don't think the original Riven would have worked if they just remade it with this kind of open world free roamish kind of feel to the game. So they had to rework all of the visuals, and really add a bunch of new stuff into the game. New puzzles, new locations, new areas, more backstory. Now, a lot of the puzzles still stay the same, but there's a lot that are new. So all of this is still the same. Nothing's really changed here. We're gonna rotate that. The gate down here in the original Riven, we would have to duck under it. We can't do that in this one, so we actually just unlock it and open it. You thought I hated this version? No, so yes and no. So I hate the VR version of this. So I played the VR version on my Quest 2, and it's so bad compared to this version. The graphics were all downgraded on the VR version of the game. It just looked mediocre. This version I don't mind. I think graphically it looks beautiful. The character models suck. There's no way about that. Like, I mean, replacing live actors with like CGI cartoons, I'm never gonna like that. But I understand why they did it. Yeah, no, Pirate Gamer Boy, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. Now, this is I was gonna stream the other game tonight, but I did a poll on my YouTube channel, and everybody chose Riven. So Riven won at 77% vote for tonight's stream, and the other game My Little Puppy, which is a really... Is Myst not as graded on the PS5? Is that what you're asking? Myst looks like this. I didn't buy Myst yet, because Riven is my favorite game. I kind of grew up with Riven. Myst for me was... Myst for me was... I don't like Myst. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of Myst. Yeah, it was a hit or miss for me. But yeah, no, it was not. No, for me. I had Myst first, but I got so frustrated with the game and the puzzles back then that I never really played most of it. How do I feel about Myst VR compared to the original? I like Myst VR. I have it. It's not bad. I like how a lot more interactive it is. You actually feel like you're in the world. It's good. Yeah. So far, so is Riven to an extent. Now, Rand Miller was interviewed on, why the hell did you add so many new puzzles? Why did you change this? Why did you change that? He was even asked, believe it or not, on why did you get rid of the live actors? And he had an answer for everything. And so his answer for adding more puzzles and adding more backstory was that the original Riven wouldn't work in this style of gameplay. He was saying that the original Riven, if he were to add the original Riven into this kind of style of gameplay, which is like free roam, it would be so desolate. There would be like so few things. It would be like, it just wouldn't work. And the other thing he said was they tried. So with Myst Remake, they have the option in the options menu to turn on the original FMVs. And that's because all the FMVs were like inside of a book. But in Riven, they couldn't do that because the FMVs were kind of superimposed over the actual graphics. And when he tried putting the FMVs over like Unreal Engine 5 visuals, it looked so bad. He was saying that it looked absolutely horrid. It literally looked like they were standing in front of a blue screen. And so that's his reason for changing the character model, so that they fit more into the environment. Which makes sense. So I don't necessarily hate the game. Cardboard cutouts. Basically, yeah. They just looked like they didn't fit in. Now, the other thing I want to point out that I don't like is they kept the original dialogue. So the only person who has new dialogue in the game is Atrus at the beginning of the game, because Rand Miller re-recorded lines for this remake. But everybody else in the game, Catherine, Gehn, Genn's guard at the beginning of the game, who traps you inside of that cage. It's all of their original dialogue, and it sounds tinny. It doesn't sound like they did any work to improve upon the audio. So the audio voice acting, which is like literally ripped from the original Riven, sounds so tinny when used with the modern day visuals. It just feels... You've never beaten Riven in any form. Interesting. I've beaten the original Riven. I can actually speed run it. I know all the puzzles. So I played it so much as a kid and beat it so much that I don't have to look at anything. I know all the solutions to all the puzzles off by heart. As sad as that is. I really do. But the problem is, with this version, they changed the puzzles. So prime example. So when you go into there's one puzzle in the game where you go to the second island, and you have to go on top, and there's a prison up top, and you have to go into a wall, and it leads into like this big circular area with all of these like almost like graves of all these different symbols on it, and you have to press them in a specific order. The order is fish, beetle, frog, sunner, Wahrk. I know that only because I played the game so fucking much as a kid that I know that combination off the top of my head like it's nothing. So when I put that combination into this version of the game, it didn't do anything, and instead it gave me a trophy saying that combination is not going to work here, or something like that. It basically ridiculed me for putting in the old combination, which I thought was funny. I laughed at that. I was like, oh, okay, shit. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. All right, so we need to go. I'm doing this wrong. I don't know why I'm going back down there. I'm kind of talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Here we go. We need to stay at this location for this to rotate. Well, Stu suggested I get rid of it because if some of you want to spam emojis, you're able to do so, and then we don't have to have the bot, yammering, saying what all the emojis are. So I got rid of it. If I start missing too many of your comments, when we don't need to lower this just yet. If I miss some of your comments, then I might put on the bot again. No, that's fine, but I know that Cool Louie is, and I don't want him to feel left out. You like old school emoticons? So Stu, from my understanding, Stu is not streaming tonight. So I'm going to be back tomorrow, probably with My Little Puppy, which is a brand new game that just came out. It's an indie game. It sounds idiotic, but it's actually really good. Just be prepared to cry a lot at that game. Oh my god, is it ever depressing. So the game is about a dog. You play as a dog, Shiba Inu, I believe it is. Or, no, is it it's either a Corgi or a Shiba Inu, I can't remember. But you play as this little puppy who dies. So the backstory is... Oh, he said he was going to stream tonight? Oh, well, he does get busy with work, so... I think we already pulled this lever, right? Yeah, we did. All right. So we need to go to the next one. So all of this is exactly the same as the original Riven. This part here is. But you're going to see... I'll point out where they added new elements to the game and stuff like that. I'll point it out. I have the original Riven for my PS5 as well. So Cyan actually released, I want to say like last year, they released the original Myst and Riven for PS5 with the original graphics, and I love it, obviously. I have both of them. And then the remake just got released a couple of days ago. Got 2 copies of OG Riven on CD-ROM laying around. 5 discs. Yes, it's either 5 or 6. I think it's 5. Unless you got the DVD version. The DVD version is like one DVD. Because CD-ROM sucks, man! So outdated, bruh. Anyway, so this is different. So I'm going to explain something here. So initially, how this room was, when you crossed this bridge and came into this room, this was circular like this, but you would go out one of these doors, and it's totally different. They changed all of this. So now you have to go downstairs, go out here, go around here, which none of this was in the original game, by the way. Go down here, loop over here. Now, take a look at this. This is where this is. This. In the original game, this was not in this location at all. So this is totally different. I don't hate this, by the way. This is fine. I'm not shitting on it for being in this location. But I have noticed that a lot of the locations we are used to from the original Riven are in totally new locations. So I'm going to point out where this chair room was in a second, because I got to go back up that way anyway. Okay, going back to what I was saying about that My Little Puppy game. So that game, so basically you play as a puppy, and the backstory is that his he was in a pet store, not a pet store, what do you call it? A pound, and this guy bought him, took him home, and they became like the best of friends. Then the puppy died. It doesn't really go into how he died, at least not yet anyway, from what I've played so far. And then the puppy ends up in doggy heaven, with the rainbow bridge and all that stuff. And he finds out that his owner committed suicide after he died, and he's arrived in heaven, and so the whole point of the game is to reunite with your owner as the puppy. But there is so much. It's such a long game. It's like an action-adventure game. There's like demons in the game and stuff like that, and things that'll try to kill you. Oh, this is totally different too. This collapse is so well done. Okay. So in the original Riven game, when you pulled this lever, it would lower the bridge so that you could go across. But in the remake, you don't get a bridge. You're fucked. No, but there is another way to get across there. But that's another thing to like make old returning players go, "What the hell? What just happened? Was that supposed to happen?" All right. But anyway, so the throne that we were just at, this is where it was originally. You would come in here. First of all, this is different already because you would go to your right. You wouldn't go to your left. So this is now going to, we're walking to our left. You would go down here, and about right here, I would say right about here is where the throne area would be. Right here. But no, it's not. It's gone. So now the only thing that's here is this area. This is right. This is accurate. This room is accurate, but the rest, So it's interesting what they've done, and I understand. Rand Miller said that it's to flesh out the environment more and to make it so that there is just a lot more to each location now that it's kind of free roam, which I totally get. I'm not shitting on that at all. Time to take a ride. Yes, the maglev, the good old maglev. So I gotta be honest, I like it too, but it looks better in this it looks better in this remake, I'm not gonna lie. I actually prefer it in the remake, if I'm being honest with you. And it plays out the exact same way. I gotta wait for the ladder to close before you can turn this, though. Also keeping the original sound effects, which I like. Here we go. Check it out in the remake. If you like the original, you're going to love the remake, man. Check it out. So it's pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much the same. Everything, like all those rides that you were used to. I'd vomit if this were in real life. Fair enough, man. I'm not one for roller coasters myself. Unless they're in a game. This is new, by the way. This is new right here. Okay, so in the original game, when you would get off here, there is a walkway here. There would be one of those orb-like devices on this wall right here. You would touch it, and it would make the sound of a frog. That was part of a puzzle. That puzzle's gone. And so none of those things exist in this remake. This is all new. This statue and this. No, you're good, Pirate Gamer Boy. So yeah, this fountain is all new. And I'm not quite sure as to the purpose of it just yet. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Now where do we want to go first? We want to go to the Sunner's Rock. Here's the Sunners. The Sunnerbirds. Very ugly. The male of the species is very ugly with those jagged ass teeth. They don't really make sounds like they did in the original game. They kind of removed those sounds, which I don't quite understand why. Like, I wouldn't have personally. I wonder how close I can get to them before they fuck off. I can get pretty close. So in the original game, because it wasn't free roam, you couldn't get this close. It was limited camera. So yeah, in the original, you could not get this close at all. They would take off. I am glad that they weren't removed from the game, because I always felt that the Sunnerbirds looked really cool. No, they're taking off. They saw me. They're like, hey! Bitch. There they go. Just vanishes. Just clips out of existence. They couldn't be asked to animate it anymore after it's so far into the water. I'm like, nah, it's okay. So this monocle device is new as well. This allows us to see hidden things in the environment. Mainly, like, the Dunny have kind of like an invisible paint that they put on things. And the invisible paint gives you, like, hints to puzzles and stuff like that. So whenever you feel like you're in an area that may or may not have the paint, you can whip out your monocle-like device, lens, as it were, and look around for invisible paint. The tree has stuff on it too, but we can't use this just yet. This is later on. This is all new, by the way. This is all new too. Because this area, when you went up this area in the original game, it didn't lead to this. It led to actually a water fountain that you turned a dial on it, and it. Oh, somebody's taking the sub. I think it's probably Gehn's mage. God, I used to think the sub went faster than that. That thing is going slow as hell. So Gehn's mage is the only prevalent character in this game that kind of like is all over the place, visiting all these locations. So he hasn't noticed us yet. But later on in the game, he will notice us and report to Gehn that we're around. And that's how Gehn knows later on when you end up being with him. He's like, oh yeah, he knows about your existence. He knows that you're at all these islands and fucking around with shit. And that's because of Gehn's mage, kind of like telling Gehn that you're here, basically. The schoolhouse. This has not changed at all since the original. Now, originally, you would have to take a sub to get to this location. You couldn't get here on foot. But in the remake, you can just walk down some stairs. The inside of the schoolhouse looks identical to the original. They did a great job of keeping it the exact same. Right down to the little counting game. So this just tells us the number combinations for the Denis numeric value. So that was that a 2? That was 2 clicks, I think, or was that 3? I think that was 2. So what the symbol down here is the number of clicks that you hear. So if I move this over here, we're going to get a different symbol. So 2, 3. So that's the number 5 in the Denis language. And this is how you learn the combinations. This is for later on in the game, for a puzzle. So you just memorize these by playing the Wahrk mini game. Three. So that was 6. And then, of course, in the center of the room, you would pull this lever and Gehn would appear as a live actor in the original game. But of course, because this is the remake, he appears as a CGI character. But still pretty effective. The only downside, of course, being that they used the original audio tracks from the original Riven, which honestly sound kind of tinny in the remake. I would have liked it if they had done more sound editing so that the audio just kind of fits in more into the game. But it is what it is.
Terekoi danni, ki bayem revat, arroyem be tig tavom, ga bodona gayem.
So the backstory, my understanding of it, from what I remember from the original Riven, was that Gehn wanted to kind of become a dictator for all the worlds, and kind of police everybody. Gehn definitely has a superiority complex. He thinks that he's like a god, basically. And when Catherine didn't want that for the Dunny people and all the other people in these worlds, Gehn enslaved her. And then Atrus was like, well, I want my wife back. So he sends, us, the lone player, to get her back from Gehn. It's okay. Keep suntanning there on your leaves. It's your rocks. It's fine. I'm just gonna be up here, okay? Take it easy. All right. And of course up here we got the wooden bridge. None of this has really changed. In the original Riven, you would faintly see this stuff below, but it was not the main focus because, of how linear Riven was, with just you could only go in a straight line, basically, the odd turn here and there. But it was very much a point-and-click game, not free roam, walking wherever you want, looking wherever you want, like this one is. So a lot of this extra stuff we never really saw. This is new for the game. This is a fissure that's opened up. Now that's not important right now, but it will become important later on. All right, so where do we want to go? We're done here, actually. We want to go to. So believe it or not, and this is kind of interesting how they've gone about this. The beetle is the same. The beetle is still here. Got a lot better flying animation now. So the Wahrk, the Wahrk statue down here, I want to say it's like a shrine. The Wahrk shrine cannot be opened the original way. So the original way was you would come up here, there would be a button on the top of this, you'd press the button, it would open the Wahrk's mouth. So believe it or not, we can't access the Wahrk from this location. We can't actually go inside this Wahrk from this location. We got to go a totally different route. So we're going to do that now. This is going to be a long route to get the Wahrk's mouth open. But we're going to do it because I'm going to show you how complicated this is compared to the original, which was just to push a button and have the Wahrk's mouth open. So what we want to do is a lot of the stuff that is needed for this world, you now have to go to the island that I like to call Wood Chipper Island, which is down here, the minecart. So we want to take the minecart to that island. Believe it or not, a lot of the revolving puzzles in all these different islands are linked up to the Wood Chipper Island. It's very strange, but anyway, so we're going to do this now. So let's ride the cart to the next island. This is another ride that was in the original game, by our Gamer Boy, but in this game, I feel like it just looks better and is a lot more fluid. So the original Riven was it was definitely not 60 frames. It was like 20, 30 max, something like that. I don't even think it was 30 actually. I think it was like 20. So it wasn't smooth like this remake is. The FMV segments were kind of janky. I mean, they looked good, but they definitely had very low frame rates. 15? Yeah, maybe. I mean, it was from 1997. All right, so this is all kind of the same. We want to go here. And flip this lever. Oh. Come on, what are you doing? There we go. Flip it to that. The goal here for this puzzle is to drain the inside of this and turn off the heat so that we don't get burned alive. So what we want to do is flip this first. This is identical to the original, this puzzle, by the way. This is not hard. It's a very easy puzzle. You want to do them all in this order. Now let this do its thing. We're going to raise that. Now, we can't actually climb down here yet because there's still water in the bottom. So what we want to do now is flip this switch right here. And that's going to drain all the water from the tank. There we go. Now we can use that ladder. So all of this was in the original, and I'm pretty sure it was the exact same solution to this puzzle. Very straightforward, very simple. We want to go this way. But yeah, we'll be returning to James Bond on Monday. I think tomorrow we'll do that puppy game. Just be aware that if you are going to be tuning into that game, it is kind of depressing and also very cute. I'm not going to lie. It's freaking adorable. And it's been getting rave reviews. So far it's at, on PlayStation, it's got 100% 5-star rating. And nothing else. Just 5-star, 100%. So everybody seems to be loving it. I love it. Oh my god, it's a beautiful game. I would say it's one of the best indie games of this year, actually. Wonder if Chase is a fan? I don't know, and I don't care. Alright, so we want to go back down. I don't think he's into dogs, if I'm being honest. He watches a lot of My Little Pony and stuff like that because, you know, he's special like that. Yeah, no, I don't. He doesn't. I don't think he would give a shit about the game, if I'm being honest. It's not for him anyway, because it's dark. It's dark, dude. The name sounds like it's like My Little Pony almost, right? It's very dark. It's very emotional. The creators of the game made it so it's a game that's supposed to help you. From the description of the game, it's a game that's supposed to help you get over a pet's death. So if you had a pet die, supposedly that was the main goal of it. I don't see how it would help, my personal opinion, but it is a really good game. It has a beautiful story of love and reuniting with your loved ones. I did find it funny that they added Keanu Reeves into the game, though. Not actually his voice. It's a there's a character in the game sitting on a bench surrounded by dogs and cats, and that's supposed to be Keanu Reeves. It even looks like him, and it's based off of the meme of him like on a bench surrounded by animals. So this is totally new. Originally, in the original game, you would come in here. This down here would be the Pruan 2 Forever. I don't know who that is. Originally, you would come down here, and this would be the frog catcher. This is not a frog catcher, as you can see. The frog catcher doesn't exist in this game. We want to drain this water. So this is the elevator that will lead us up to Gehn's lab. This is the only way to access Gehn's lab. In the original game, you would like crawl through the vent and drop down into Gehn's lab. This is not how this game plays. So this game, we have to go through these caverns, and there is, at the end of all of this, he made a video, my thoughts. Oh, okay. It would have been funny if Keanu Reeves actually voiced the character in the game. Hey, I'm just here with my dogs. Having a good time. Alright, anyway, let's... We gotta spin this... Oh, wait a minute. Went too far, I think. Yes. I gotta lower this down. And here we go, the inside of Gehn's lab. Very good music in both this and the original. So a lot of the music from the original game is still in this, but they did add a couple of new soundtracks here and there for the new locations. Myst? Yeah, Myst had good music too. They both kind of did. I have been cataloguing the natural element of this age for many years now, yet I still continue to find evidence of the number 5. As a boy, it was very clear to me that it held a place of special significance to the Dunny society, from the ancient heraldic emblems of the ruling elite to the humble homes of the commoners. It was ubiquitous. Its presence here is clearly a direct reflection of the minds that authored the texts that I used to compose this age. Further proof that through their art, the Dunny masters were indeed creating the marvelous worlds they wrote, and not as many have mistakenly thought, merely logging links to pre-existing worlds. While all of my ages have been based on Dunny designs, I see now that the ones most vested with the power of 5 are also the most beautiful, the most perfect, and undoubtedly the most structurally sound. I still have yet to determine how the Dunny color symbology affects this superior design principle. While ostensibly a 6-color system, I am convinced that there must be some deeper connection to the number 5. I will continue to investigate. The Yutram traps have been particularly fruitful this year. Apparently the breakup of the islands has not adversely affected the subterranean ecosystems. The original Myst, I do think this is very impressive. Yes, no, of course, it's a masterpiece. And dude, in like a couple of days, the Unreal Engine 5 remake of the 7th Guest is coming out, and I'm going to be streaming that as well on my channel. Really looking forward to playing that as well. Apparently, the breakup of the islands has not adversely affected the subterranean ecosystems. Unfortunately, I imagine the rebels are also experiencing a generous harvest. No shortage of poison for their darts this season. Such vexing issues aside, this unexpected windfall has allowed me to refine a particularly pleasant extract for my pipe, one that is smoother than any other in recent memory. I have reluctantly decided to suspend my inquiries into the unusual behavior of the water of this age, as there are more pressing matters that now demand my attention. For future reference, however, my investigations have revealed the following. I believe the remarkable properties of the water to be caused by a microbe that resides within it. I am imagining a mobile, unicellular organism, but one with a structure that allows it to manipulate bits of water, the aggregate effect of which is that the composite body of water is able to deform itself in response to threatening conditions. Prolonged exposure to extreme heat, a period of extended boiling, for example, seems to kill them off, which would explain their dramatic aversion to even moderate rises in temperature. There is still much to learn, however, regarding this peculiar phenomenon and its possible uses. Construction of the images has proceeded without fault. Remarkable how easy it was to adapt the Dunny technology to mimic that of the Ahmad. The two cultures must surely have crossed paths at some point in their histories. It may even be that Keita was a direct descendant of the Dunny. How else to explain the redemption depth of our connection? But that's all pointless now. Maintenance on the steam vent caps completed. I am extremely pleased with the continued success of the system. Another example of the superiority of Dunny technology. Ironic that Atrus and Catherine's meddling unwillingly provided me with such a convenient source of power. I am certain now that the fissure was an unexpected byproduct of the changes they wrote into this age as part of their machinations to trap me here, and that Atrus never intended for the book to be lost among the stars in the process. Better that a linking book be destroyed than to risk it falling into unknown hands. Had they foreseen the creation of the fissure, they surely would have sought another solution, as the ensuing cataclysm may well have been consumed the entire world had I not managed to intervene. Catherine would never have knowingly taken such a risk, and surely my son, given his own... what does that say? Death of vertebrae had only meant for Riven to become my prison and not my tomb. I am discontinuing regular observations of the expanse beneath the fissure. I have tracked the stars and have proven that the paths are cyclical, but without proper instrumentation there is nothing more I can learn. My theory, however, remains unaltered. The fabric of this age was breached in a way that permits matter to be hospitably exchanged between two discrete yet overlapping spaces, yet the attendant paradoxes defy the laws of conventional physics. The great column of wind that formed when the rift first appeared suggests a vacuum, as one might expect in space. Yet my early experiments seem to confirm the presence of a breathable atmosphere. That Atrus momentarily threw himself into the void is further evidence that it might possibly be safe to venture into, but without knowing its true nature, I simply cannot take the risk. It is also difficult to say what would happen were I to reopen the fissure now, but it is highly probable that the results would be disastrous. My hopes have been dashed again. The latest ink formulation has proven to be yet another in a long list of failures. Frustrating to expend so much effort constructing a linking book only to end up destroying it when it refuses to function. Too often has this lab grown uncomfortably warm by the flames of these never-ending disappointments. Without my reference library back in Dunny, a proper orthodox linking book may simply be beyond my means, but I simply cannot burn another book. There must be another way. Pens of Fate. Late last night, while pondering these interminable setbacks, I went to light my pipe. The fire marble got away from me, however, and rolled across the gateway image of the open book before me. If the consequence of this had not been repeatable, I would not have believed my eyes, as the marble left a faint yet definite trail of increased clarity in its wake. The change did not last long, but it was unmistakable. If I could find a way to boost the energy output of my fire marbles, it might be possible to suppress the variance enough to facilitate a stable link. But how? A spatial anomaly occurred yesterday about 5 spans above the north shore of Temple Island. A breach of stars seemingly identical to the one beneath the fissure. It began as a small cloud-like hole, which then commenced to expand in random surges. With some effort, I was finally able to contain it with runic plates similar to the ones I devised for the fissure. I believe it will hold, but the appearance of a new rift is troubling. And yet, it has also left me with the most uncanny feeling that something fundamental has shifted in my favor. I believe it may be time to give this inexplicable mystery a second look. I have erected a small dome, a pressurized airlock mounted upon the contained breach. This has allowed me to safely conduct tentative forays into the expanse without subjecting Riven to further invasion, and the destruction that would certainly attend it. It is a bafflingly improbable space, yet surprisingly more accommodating than my initial observations had led me to believe. Breathing is indeed possible within, yet I cannot say that it is respiration as I am used to it. Rather, as nonsensical as this is going to sound, it feels at times as if the expanse was breathing me, and in the process imbuing me with a sense of endless possibility. At last, the breakthrough I was hoping for. After my first full day of experiments in the expanse, I was astonished to discover that the fire marbles in my coat pocket had come to fluoresce. A quick strike test confirmed that their energy levels had increased significantly, and their charge has lasted longer than I would have thought possible. In a clear act of divine providence, the expanse has given me the final piece of the puzzle. An apparently boundless energy source that should be more than sufficient to rectify my linking books. But I must work quickly. 2 more breaches have occurred in the interim, each one more aggressive and difficult to contain than the last. Time, I fear, is running out. The breaches now number 5, a sure sign that I am on the right path. I have connected the domes on each of them via a nexus of pathways within the expanse, which will also serve as an inter-island shortcut as I continue my work on my advanced fire marble complex. The loss of 2 more men yesterday has made it clear that the full spectrum of energy is too great for even my finest fire marbles to contain, so I've decided to break it up into 5 discrete frequency ranges, which will later be recombined for application to the book. I have installed 5 charging stations within the expanse, each one calibrated to imbue a blank fire marble with a separate Gehn of the total energy. needed. A pneumatic tube system 1,000 years later. I know, right? He talks so much. A pneumatic tube system will then convey the charged marbles to the great gold dome on Riven for recombination. Freedom is nearly within my grasp. Oh my god, how many more pages of this are there? I'm trying to sound like the actor who played Gehn in the game. I'm lower pitch than him. He was a little bit more higher pitch, but yeah. So I'm assuming we're close to the end of the journal. I hope. The problem of how to return to Riven has been settled. Riken has proven his usefulness over the years, at times nearly rivaling my own engineering prowess. He and his team will have the honor of being the first to link to the new age, bringing with them the necessary materials to build a vastly simplified version of the book apparatus, which I have personally designed. If they do not return within a reasonable amount of time, I will revise my design and send additional men until they get it right. Should they founder, however, I am prepared to sacrifice every last man on Riven. To continue the effort, this cannot fail. At long last, a viable loop has been established. After an eternity of toil and sacrifice, and an unconscionable preemption of the ages I might have fathered, I have finally linked to a new age. It is a bleak and barren world, perfectly suited for my purposes. By closely comparing the real with the written, I believe I will soon be able to create a more appropriate age from which to relaunch my mission. For now, however, I will move my office and living quarters there, so that I may safely continue my endeavors without distraction. Although it is but a stepping stone, stupid numbers that I don't remember, is an utter triumph to think that I have accomplished in a matter of years. Under extremely adverse conditions, what it took my dunny ancestors centuries to achieve. I caught one of my assistants thumbing through this journal today. He will certainly never do it again, but I'm glad I chose to write this in a language these people cannot decipher. Perhaps it's time I reviewed security measures with each guild master. No problems expected from the builders, maintainers, and surveyors, but the bookmakers and educators may need a bit more motivation. More reports of spirit sightings. It seems that under Catherine's leadership, the rebels, or black moiety, as the villagers stubbornly insist on referring to them, have attained a new level of sophistication in their terror tactics, renewing their campaign to intimidate the weak-minded into joining them by preying upon their cultural superstitions. I suppose I should be concerned by this, but it strikes me as almost laughable. If the rebels wish to dilute their ranks with dimwits, then who am I to stop them? Chemical analysis of one of the rebel knives has yielded curious results. The metal contains elements that are unlike anything I've encountered on the islands. It appears the rebels have access to a resource that I am unaware of, perhaps a mine or an uncharted island. Most of these knives have been found on the south side of the village, the same region that reports of people mysteriously disappearing have emanated from. I think a closer inspection of the area is warranted. The fact that the rebels deliberately have their distinctive knives as a sign of their presence is concerning. They're growing bolder, as if they are no longer fear discovery of their hideout. Recent measurements indicate that the movement of the islands has slowed dramatically. There we go. God damn. My previous estimates predicted a total collapse in approximately 3 months, but with the new figures, I am no longer certain. I have nearly finished writing the something age. I can never remember those numbers, what they mean. I think that's the 5th age. And have every confidence it will be a safe place to relocate to. But it would still be useful to know what has caused the sudden halt in Riven's breakup. Is it possible that the age is stable after all? If so, I must discover how it differs from the other age, which has already shown troubling signs of decay, though further tests are needed. And yet, there is something about this that gives me pause. Could it be that someone is attempting to repair the damage to the Fifth Age at its source? I cannot help but think that the hand of Atrus is behind this somehow. Thank God. Well, there we go. That's the end of the journal. All right. Well, that gives us a little bit of backstory into Gehn. Now, the frog capture device, which no longer exists like it did in the original, is now up here. And you can see a little frog in there. So we open this up and you'll see the animation is still pretty good. Even, you know, back then the animation was amazing, and you know, it still is. Still is pretty cool. All right, so what we want to do is we want to take our geode. Oh shit, frog! There it goes! Yeah, pretty much. It's there and it's gone. Alright, so we want to set this. I had to manually figure this puzzle out the other day. It's about there. Nope, that's not right. It needs to be smack dab in the middle. Oh, what? I think this solution is randomly generated. Oh, that's way too high. Okay, what? Let's try there. There we go. I don't even know what this does, to be honest. But if we flip this lever, it doesn't. It just puts the light out. We don't want to do that. Okay. There's nothing out that door that we need right now. So what we're gonna do is let's focus on opening the Wahrk mouth, which was our initial goal when we started all this. So let's start with that. So we're gonna go down here, summon the maglev again. All right, so this is Plateau Island, and now there's a lot of things that have changed in this as well compared to the original. I believe this is Plateau Island. I'm pretty sure it is. So originally, this is kind of the same here, but once we get up top in the elevator, you'll see how much has changed up there. Because there used to be a map room in there with like this map that you could look at all the different islands and spin them around. That entire area is gone. Now I don't know if maybe it's somewhere else and I just haven't found it yet or what. But up top is kind of desolate now. There's really not much here. It's kind of just the spinning sphere. Which again, we'll worry about unlocking these later on. They're not really crucial to unlock at the moment. What the hell is that sound? This must be where the Wahrk is. That was definitely a sound of a Wahrk, that's for sure. It would explain the Wahrk monuments all over the place here. I don't... I don't know what I'm supposed to do up here. Oh, that's just to summon the elevator. Okay. This has changed too. Originally, you'd press the button. You would go into the map room, select an island with the map room, come back out here, and you would mess around with this, which would add bubbles to these. From my understanding, this is still kind of the puzzle, but they've made it so that it's a little bit more advanced than that. Alright, so this has to go there. Oh good god, this is royally messed up. Alright, we need to match up these symbols exactly like how they look. This is not right. That needs to go up there. Oh my god. I think I've succeeded in just ruining ruining that puzzle. I'm gonna have to come back to that. I'm not wasting my time on that right this second. But we will have to come back to that. But yeah, Riven Pirate Gamer Boy was like literally one of my favorite games back in the day. I remember getting it for Christmas the year it came out. And I don't remember how old I was. I was an early teen, I know that. And I was so frustrated with the game. I remember like being frustrated specifically on one puzzle. And the puzzle was the marble puzzle in the game, which is way later on in the game, closer to the ending of the game. And I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And so my dad Have I played Pissed? I own Pissed. I still have it to this day, bro. That's why I want to get my capture card working so that I can stream those kind of games on this channel. I have Pissed, yeah. I also have Riven, the sequel to Pissed, and I have, or at least the demo. I don't know if they came out with the full game of that one. I have Star Warped, I've got the X-Fools, and I've got Micro Shaft Wind Blows 98. Which is all made by Parody Interactive. They made a ton of those games. I've actually streamed the X-Fools on this channel, and Micro Shaft Wind Blows 98. I did, yeah, I did. I did stream Wind Blows 98. I also streamed the X-Fools as well. Yep. Back when I didn't have issues with streaming on my PC. For whatever reason now it just doesn't work. There's so much static on my videos when I live stream them on PC. And I've never figured out what's causing it. So that's why I'm hoping that my capture card will alleviate all that. My favorite elevator in the entire game, the water elevator. This thing is so cool. But yes, we will. Man, I want one of these in my house. A water elevator? What? What? How? But it's a water elevator. What do you? I'm confused, Pirate Gamer Boy. Where are you going to use it? To deep dive into your toilet? Like, I don't understand. Where would it be going? So here's Gehn's mage. So this is the asshole who reports your location to Gehn. This is how Gehn knows that you're on the islands, because of this motherfucker here. Who then is like, ha ha ha, well, fuck you, I'm leaving, I'm telling Gehn you're here. Yeah, bye, dick. Build my house on top of a river? What are you sure you're Pirate Gamer Boy and not Pirate Gamer Beaver? Like, what? So we're gonna call the maglev and hope it shows up without Gehn's mage in it. And we're gonna take it to the exact island that he took it to, because that's where we're gonna need to. That's the area we're gonna go to open up the Wahrk's mouth. And again, you see how different that is compared to the original, where it was a simple button press and the Wahrk's mouth would open. Here we have to take a fucking maglev to 3 different islands just to get the Wahrk's mouth open. It's crazy. I'm telling you, man. They're making you work for opening a Wahrk's mouth. No worries, Pirate Gamer Boy. We'll see you in a sec. I was wondering why the ladder wasn't lowering. Then I realized I have to get out of my chair first. All right. So we want to take this elevator up, This is actually the elevator. If you remember the original Riven, this is the elevator we rode to get. This elevator was originally in the Wahrk's mouth. Now it still is, but there's an alternate way to get to it. It's so stupid, and I still don't understand the logistics of this whatsoever. So we're on an entirely other island. We're not on the main island. So how is this linking up to... It just doesn't make any sense to me. The geography of this is just off. So there we go. The Wahrk's mouth is now open. What a lunatic way of doing it, though. Like, I would have liked it if they just kept in the button. So you just press the button, the Wahrk's mouth opens, you come up. I don't know why we needed to go to fucking Woodchipper Island and then fucking Gehn's lab and then take a maglev from Gehn's lab to the next island and then take the maglev from that island over here just to open a Wahrk's mouth. It's so crazy. It's so much unneeded freaking just traveling all over the place. And I get why they're doing it. They're trying to make more filler for the game. It is what it is. I mean, is it something that's going to prevent me from liking the game? Hell no. The game's a masterpiece. They did a good job with it. It's a good game. We don't want to open that just yet. The dome can wait. Alright. This you guys will remember if you played the original Riven. This is the, what I like to call Gehn's moral superiority chair. Because, you see, he likes to stand up on this and pretend that he's God, looking down on his disciples. So, yeah. So we want to open the, or close, rather, the, should be the final be right back from me? Well, if not, I'm going to sue you. You understand that, right? You're good, Pirate Gamer Boy. Look at how detailed this is compared to the original. Oh my god. Like, the original visuals were great, don't get me wrong. I mean, they were ahead of their time. I mean, the original Riven, the budget of the original Riven was insane. I think it was like $2 or $3 million or something like that. It was pretty big. But it was very pixely. Like, everything was very pixely. Yeah, it was a lot higher, obviously. It was also considered to be like the masterpiece. So out of all, you know what's funny is out of all the Myst games, invariably the one that is talked about the most by fans is Riven. And I understand it. I mean, when I grew up playing the original Riven, oh my god, that game was like, it was just, I don't even know how to describe it for me. I loved it. Like, I played it over and over and over and over, and I'm pretty sure I wore my CDs out playing it. And I've beaten it about 1,000 times. Does anyone talk about what? The text cut off there. About end was all it said. Does anyone talk about end? Alright, so we're done with the Wahrk finally. But actually, hold on. We don't want to go out the Wahrk's mouth. We want to take the elevator down more. Oh, the final game. So the only Riven I liked besides... The only Riven I liked... What the hell am I saying? The only Myst game I liked besides Riven was Myst 4. And that's the one where you met like Atrus's daughter and all that shit. I really liked that one, and I'll tell you why. I liked I liked the creatures and stuff like that in it, and I liked the environment. I liked how like beautiful everything was, how seamless everything was. And I would love to see remakes of... No, I didn't like 3. 3 was with Brad Dourif. No, I did not like 3. Yeah, 3 was okay. It's not my favorite. 4 is my favorite. And I'm wondering what they're going to do. Is Cyan planning on remaking all of the Myst games? Is that the plan? Or just focus on Myst and Riven? I don't even know. It'd be cool if they did, but I don't think they're going to, because after they released Myst or Riven remake, they went and made another game that I bought, and it's their most recent game, and it's set in the Myst universe, but it's got a weird name. I already have it. I have it for PS5, and it's okay. Firmament, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one I have. That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the one that used AI. Yeah, I know. He lied about it on his Kickstarter. Yeah, I know the whole controversy. I just don't care. I'm not against AI. I'm against the people who use AI. So AI in and of itself is not necessarily a bad thing. It's the people who are using it for bad, nefarious purposes, or the people who are using it to lie about shit that I have problems with. So a lot of gamers and a lot of people... What the fuck did I just do? Oh my god, this is why I need to concentrate and not talk. Because I went... I was supposed to stay at that location because that's how you get the sub. I'm such a fucking moron. Alright, so let's go back there again. Look at the Pirate Gamer Boy. You must be having a fun with this. You're riding back and forth on the maglev, your favorite ride. Isn't that awesome? You're like going back and forth on a maglev. It's fantastic. It's awesome. I'm telling you, those maglevs. Yeah. Anyway, so let's try to spin this around, do what we're supposed to do, instead of talking all the time. But yeah, Firmament, I didn't much care for. I felt that the puzzles were so obscure in that game. Abduction is the other one. That's a bit strange. I wasn't a big fan of Abduction either. That game was just a bit weird. All of those holograms of that German guy. Welcome to welcome to our home away from home. This is a wonderful place. You're going to love it here. Yeah, no, it was. I have them. I have all of them. I'm a sucker for Cyan. What can I say? There we go. There's our sub. Totally not in the same location it was in the original Riven. No, it's in a cave, which makes total sense that a sub would be in a cave, right? Yeah, that makes sense. All right, anyway, let's let's board the sub. Is it 10 years old already? That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. It was a PS4 game, was it not? I don't even think it was PS5. Alright, here we go. So as fun as it would be to visit every location, but we should actually visit at least one location. We should visit the first one so that we can unlock all of the ladders that are currently closed. So let's take our sub underwater. But yeah, so tomorrow we're going to be going into the doggy game, and then Monday back to for more 007 First Light on the PS5. Then next week we're going to go into the 7th Guest remake and check that out. Yeah. Whoa, that thunder almost crashed into me. That's cool. The lighting effects in this game are so much better than the original, though. Like, freaking amazing. I mean, that's what it kind of... So, Unreal Engine 5 is a bit of a bitch to work with for most gamers. Most game developers. But what it excels at the most is lighting. I feel like Unreal Engine 5 is perfect for realistic lighting effects. This is not the location I thought it was. Okay, we need to go back down. It's the next location we want. Oh, for Pete's sakes. There we go. So if you remember the original game, you would have to like direct the sub left and right, and it was like a hassle. You had to like map down the entire underwater area just to figure out where the hell you were going half the time. And now in the remake, they just make it like 4 fucking dots that you just click on. It's so different. It's so easier to get around in this version of it. That lets you free roam a decent what? Your text broke up there. Is it you free roam a decent what? Free roaming what? What are you free roaming? Lucy, I'm home. I'm here to raid your fridge. I sound more like Borat than I do with Desi Arnaz. Free roam, I think it's 50% of the Titanic. Oh, I already have that game. I'm one of the funders of that game. You're talking about Titanic: Honor and Glory, right? Yeah, I already know about that game. That game's coming to PS5 in August. Yeah, I already know about that. Bro, that's old news, man. That game's amazing. Yeah, I have it. I also have the Orville game. Yeah, I have it. Yeah, it's good. It's fantastic. I know the developers of that game actually. I've been donating money towards it. It's awesome. All the people working on that game are amazing. Yeah, well, I don't know when. They're really spending their time on it, so God, it could be like 2029, 2030 before the actual game comes out. I also was a beta tester for the Orville game that Messy Desk Interactive made. The guys who made Stage 9, they did one on the Orville TV series. Really good too. Uses Unreal Engine 5 as well. But that game is way more in depth. Oh my god, that game is so much more in depth than Stage 9 was. The Orville game lets you like literally take shuttlecrafts out of the Orville ship and fucking land them on planets and get out and explore the planets on foot and shit. Dude, it's crazy the amount of work that they put into that game. The game's freaking ludicrous. I think we have to close it this side. The fuck? The fuck is happening down there? Bro, is my sub on fire? Like, what is going to happen right now? Like, what is this? Can we go down the ladder, please? That would be effective. I like to get to my sub before it explodes in my face. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Something's smoking there. The fuck is that? Oh, my sub's not even at that location. Dude, what is happening with this game right now? I want to... Let's go investigate what the hell that is. In 10 years, when we climb down the ladder, of course. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you live here. I'm sorry for lighting your water on fire. It is what it is. A stray geezer? Yeah, don't make fun of this stray geezer. What the fuck? Why is it so open like that? Obviously, there's something you have to do with that, probably. It just doesn't... It seems too obvious. It seems too in your face that it's not related to something. I gotta be honest with you guys. I have not beaten this remake. Not yet, anyway. Maybe one day I'll be able to beat this remake. But right now, as it stands, I have not. I'm very confused with how it's supposed to play out. The puzzles are totally different. Streaming stew style, yeah. Except I'm not gonna hurl my my keyboard across the room. That's the difference between me and Stu. So that's Gehn's school. That's that location. So we don't want that because we've already got that unlocked. So we'll go to there. I'm not AGK either. Who's AGK? I try not to get angry at my games. There's been times where I've raged at my games on live stream, and when I do, it scares people. Oh, angry German kid. He's fake. You know that, right? He came out. He has a YouTube channel now. He's a professional fitness instructor or some shit like that. Yeah, well, I mean, he came out and said it. It was to get views. And it worked in his favor, because now he's, like, world famous. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, the express elevator to hell, or heaven, I guess, whatever you suppose. Let's go to the second floor. Hang on tight, it's going to be a bumpy ride. I'm blown away by the attention to detail of just that. Because in the original Riven, you never saw the village like this. You never saw it like this. With everything. It's so freaking cool. And then the old guy sleeping in here from the original game. I really have to respect Rand Miller though for creating these remakes. Robin is not involved in Cyan anymore. He retired a long time ago, but Rand is the one keeping all of this stuff going. But I think he's retired now too, because I think Stu told me that the last convention that Adventure Game Hotspot did was the final convention that Rand Miller or Robin. No, sorry, that Robin. Oh my God, English. That Rand Miller. There we go. Christ Almighty. That Rand Miller is attending. Yeah, he's done. I think so. I don't know what's happening with Cyan now. I don't know if they're going to do remakes of the other Myst games. That's why I'm thinking that they're done. I think they went. I think their final game was technically Riven remake. Now, in the original game, you would there's in this vent in the floor, you would open up the vent and there would be like a switch that you pull up to open the secret passage. It's different for the remake. You have to put on your monocle and it's going to highlight in invisible paint this area here. So we want to push the brick for that area. Now there we go. And now, because it's so fucking dark in here, we can't see anything, we put on the monocle again, and it's gonna light the path for us in like this white paint aesthetic. I like that new animation style of turning. So in the original game, when you turn on the lights, they would just turn on. You would just press them and they would turn on. In this, because the rock that he's using, that he mined for, when you smash it, it lights up. So that's how he's made the lights. That you have to bend them back and have them smash against the other rock, and it lights them up, thereby turning on the lights. It's really inventive. The one thing I will say about Robin and Rand Miller is they really came up with some unique shit. The manhole, no, but I have heard of it. I think Stu streamed it, if I remember correctly. Open sesame! We're finally here. In the basement. And this is the room that I was telling you about. So the original combination for this was fish, beetle, frog, sun, or Wahrk. So it would be fish, then beetle, then frog, then Sunner, then Wahrk. But guess what? That's not the combination for this. Because when I put in that combination, it told me, haha, you're a loser. That's for the old game. That's not for this one. So guess what? I don't know the fucking combination. And I don't know if it's different. But you know what? You know who does know? Ladies and gentlemen, the internet. Let's look it up on Google. Let's look it up on the Googler. See if we can get past here without scratching our heads and our balls. All right. I think so. I think a lot of the puzzles have changed, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, some of them are the same. This is wrong. It says that the combination is fish, beetle, frog, center, Wahrk. But yet I put that in and that it said it wasn't the... Yes, well, that's not the right combination though, is it? Because I put that combination in and guess what? It wasn't right! It gave me a, achievement that said, you're an idiot. So that's clearly not the right combination. When did this game come out? Riven... maybe... How many remakes of Riven are there? I guess there is more than one then. 2024. It's still saying it's the same thing. Fish, beetle, frog, center, Wahrk. That's not it though. Oh, for Pete's sakes, this is not right. This is not right, bro. This is not right. If I put this in, it's gonna tell me to go fuck myself. There's the fish, right? That's the fish. Because I don't see anything else here that resembles a freaking fish. I guess that? I don't think that's supposed to be a fish, though. No, that's the fish. Fish. Beetle. And this is the combination I knew off by heart. Fish, beetle, frog, center, Wahrk. But this ain't right. I know this isn't right because I put this in earlier and it did jack shit. Yeah. Wow. That was effective. Fish. Beetle. Frog. Center. Wahrk. That's it. Am I supposed to press a button or something? Boy, I tell you, that ain't the combination. I don't care what anybody says, it ain't the combination. Where's the button? So there was no, in the original game there was no button. You would lift up those, you would lift these up and, you would lift these up and it would automatically trigger the... Wait, what? There's 5? Or 6? Oh my god. You won't fucking believe this. It's randomized per each fucking playthrough. So there is no fucking way we're gonna know this unless we go through a whole bunch of shit. Alright. Well, that's that. God. I hate when they randomize puzzles. Yup. Yay! Fun time for us! Alright, well, what the fuck is going on? Hello, Unreal Engine 5. Can we start maybe working? What is happening here? I feel like the Shadow Man just showed up. Yeah, it's a bug. Well, I don't even know how to get those I don't even know where I don't know where to get that combination. I'm going to have to like look at a full walkthrough for this, I think, at some point. But whatever, let's just explore and have fun. Down we go. Can it allow me to just jump off? I love randomized puzzles. Every time you play the game, it's a different combination. When did that start? I feel like that started with Blade Runner by Westwood Studios. I swear that was like one of the first games to do randomized shit. Can we take you back to home base? I have the remake. I have so I have the remake of it done by Night Dive Studios. Have you ever played the remake? My little dog is being very loud right now, aren't you? Yes, you're making a lot of noise, aren't you? Only the original CD? Oh. The remake's good. So the remake... Yeah, man. It came out a couple of years ago. They redid all of the visuals in 4K. And upped the frame rates to 60 frames for all the cutscenes and the gameplay. It's really good. Now you have the option when you play the game, you can actually press a button and put on the original graphics as well. So it's kind of cool. It's like 2 games for the price of 1. It's pretty cool. I may stream it. I've streamed a little bit of it already on my channel, but I may stream it again if you're interested. I don't mind. That game's fun because there's multiple endings based on how you play. That game was really unique. Well, if it isn't everybody's favorite detective, Ray McCoy! Alright, anyway, let's head out once the door closes. The voice cast in Blade Runner was insane, too. A lot of Hollywood actors were in that game. And I'm not just talking about Blade Runner actors. I mean, fuck, the Guza, the chief of police, was voiced by Jeff Green. And if you don't know who Jeff Green is, he's from the TV show Curb Your Enthusiasm. Or wait, actually, Jeff Green is his name in Curb Your Enthusiasm. I think his actual name was Jeff Wright, or something like that. But anyway, they went all out. But he plays, in Curb Your Enthusiasm, he's a main character. He plays Larry David's best friend, his agent, basically, Jeff. And then the voice actor who plays Ray McCoy in that game is still acting to this day. Their version of Monopoly? I don't think I've ever played the Westwood Studios version of Monopoly. So for me, the most games I played by Westwood were the Command & Conquer games and Blade Runner. Valley now! Nobody knows what... Oh, that was the door closing. I guess we'll take this back to Woodchipper Island. Oh yeah, they did. Westwood Studios. Yeah, you're right. They did do The Lion King. I actually have a collection on my PS5 called the Disney Classics Collection, and it has all of the different versions of the Lion King game, all of the different versions of the Aladdin game, and all of the different versions of the Jungle Book game, all together. And it's really cool because it has the Game Boy versions, the NES, SNES, Genesis. I think it'd be fun to stream at some point for sure. I do have a lot of stuff like that. I do buy a lot of like really old, obscure games. Just because I haven't streamed them doesn't mean I don't have them. I do have a lot of old games. I do have a lot of old games. I just always tend to stream the newer ones for whatever reason. All right, let's head out here. Oh, wait. No, we want to unlock it, not lock it. And this is the bridge that we destroyed when we destroyed the bridge earlier in the first location. This was supposed to lead to that giant golden dome. Now, in the original game, you would get to that golden dome and see that thing in the middle there, in between the cracks of the golden dome. That's the marble puzzle. I don't know what it is in this version of the game. It's probably not even the marble puzzle. But in the original game, it was a marble puzzle. You had like all these different colored marbles, and you had to like set them down in the exact location of all the islands. And that was the puzzle that I got stuck on. So let me tell you a little bit of backstory about that. So Christmas Day, I'm playing Riven. I get stuck on that puzzle. I get frustrated with it. My dad, being the awesome dude he is, the very next day on Boxing Day, literally went to town and bought me the strategy guide for Riven. And I still have it to this day. Very next day. Boxing Day is a thing in Canada, by the way. It doesn't exist in the States. In the States, it's called the day after Christmas. Yeah, no, my parents are awesome, man. They're really the best. But, yeah. So I solved it using the strategy guide, and then ever since then, I've known, because I played it so often, I memorized the strategy guide, and then I knew all of the puzzle solutions. But that doesn't mean dick fuck here, because it sounds like all the puzzle solutions are randomized. So, fuck me, I guess. The guy who has the strategy guide that is absolutely useless for the remake. So stupid. Oh, man. Bought the game and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'll be able to beat this in no time, because it's the same puzzles. No, it's not. Oh, that's good. The door is not opening. Well, that's great. What is... What is happening with this game right now? Okay. But yeah, I mean, all in all, what do I think of this game? I think it's a masterpiece. They did a good job with it. I mean, the randomized puzzles are meh. It is what it is. But I think so. I have 3 gripes about the game, and they're not even that bad. The first is the sky. I'm pretty sure they're using the original image they used for the sky in the original Riven. That sky is very static compared to the rest of the world. Like, the sky doesn't even move. It's like a JPEG image of like clouds. Yeah. So that's one of my complaints. And it's so trivial. Again, these are all trivial complaints. The other one is recycling the old sounds from the game, because they didn't really edit them all that well. So oftentimes when characters talk, it sounds tinny. It almost sounds it sounds off for a modern game. Let's just say that. And the final gripe is the puzzles, I guess. Yeah, that's the final gripe. Too much of the world has changed, and it's very confusing for somebody who is a veteran Riven player to suddenly play the remake and be like, "Ha! Guess what? Remember the things that you knew about in the original game? Ha ha! Well, it doesn't mean shit here." That's great. But yeah, I think that's we're at 2 hours and something odd minutes, 2 hours and 4 minutes. I think we're gonna call it here for tonight. I might stream more of this sooner rather than later. I intend to buy Myst remake over the next couple of days, and I also tend to buy the 7th Guest remake. And as soon as the 7th Guest remake comes out for the PS5 on Thursday of next week, I will be streaming it on this channel. Until then, guys, I will be back tomorrow with the puppy game that I was talking about earlier. I think you guys should tune into that one. It's really damn good. The animations on the dogs are top-notch. It's very cartoony and cutesy and colorful, but you can tell that it's not aimed for kids. It's too dark. Dude, it's dealing with suicide and death, and there's a lot of weird shit in it. But it is really good, and it's depressing and sad, and also just really good. For an indie game, I was very impressed, and apparently I'm not the only one. It's been getting rave reviews, 5 out of 5 across the board. So we're going to be hopping into that tomorrow, and then on Monday, we're going back to playing 007 First Light on the PS5. Some more of the great James Bond. So tune in for that. But until then, guys, have a fantastic night, have a fantastic weekend. If you're not already subscribed, consider liking and subscribing. I cover PS4, PS5, PC, and VR games, soon to be PS1, PS2, PS3, Xbox, NES, Super NES, and a Partridge in a Pear Tree. No, not really. I'm not streaming a Partridge in a Pear Tree. Not anytime soon, anyway. But yeah, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Pirate Gamer Boy, for joining in on this madness with me. And I hope you have a wonderful night. And I'll try to take a cattle prod to Stu, wake him up from his coffin, and maybe we'll get him to stream something on his channel tonight. But that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Have a fantastic night. We'll see you soon at the Gamers Grotto. Take care once again. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow for My Little Puppy. I know it sounds like My Little Pony, and it sounds really lame, but it's actually a really good game. Tune in for that, and we'll see you soon.